and welcome to Mrs. D. So today what I want to be talking to you about is 5 niches that are currently not being optimized. Okay, so we hear a lot on YouTube about, oh, do your lined paper notebooks, but actually if you type into Amazon and you do a bit of keyword research, you will discover that the lined notebooks, there are hundreds of thousands of search results. So it is so oversaturated. So when we're talking about niching down, it can be that you want to niche down into a certain book type. Actually, one that I've seen on Amazon, which I think is really good and fits into a really great niche, is there are some like crazy cat lady notebooks out there. So literally the cover, they're really simple, really basic, standard notebook as everything else. But the covers are literally covered in cats. But that's for a particular demographic. So if you were looking for a gift for a cat lover or your crazy cat friend, then you would be able to find that notebook would come up. Anyway, what you have come for today is 5 niches that you can tap into that will work all year round. So these ones, they're not oversaturated. There is definitely gaps in the market. You can even niche these down further. So I am working from the most saturated down to the least saturated. So make sure you stay around for all 5 niches. So here we go. Niche number 5. And we are talking children's activity books. This can be your dot-to-dots. I think colouring books has been done quite a lot. However, if you want to take that down into a particular market, when I was doing my research, I did notice that there were now a lot of those colouring books out there, and they are good and they are selling. So there is no reason why you can't, but you do need to make sure that if you're going to compete in that market, that you have got a bit of an edge, a bit of a twist, or your product looks superior. There's also other kinds of activity books that you can do. So you've got the educational, you've got the line drawing ones, handwriting books, maths books, you've got spot the difference books. So there are so many different ways that you can go. And I promise you now, the dot to dots, colour by numbers, the spot to difference books, they are not overly saturated. You can definitely get in there now. And a way to niche these ones down further is by looking at the target age group that you are focusing at. So are you looking at kind of the preschooler market, ages 2 to 5? Are you looking at your early years, ages 5 to 7? Or are you looking at a bit older, and really start to think about what child you are aiming that at, and you will honestly, you will get success. So next up is manuscript books. Now, manuscript books, they're usually used for your musicians, and it is simply your sheet music paper. So every single page is just pure sheet music. So what you can do is, again, niche down further. You can either niche it in terms of instrument, you could niche it down in terms of music type, who the musician might be. And what I would say, because there are some manuscript books out there on Amazon, is why don't you go that little bit further if you've got the knowledge. So for example, if you're a guitar player, put in there perhaps at the front of the book a list of the notes or where to press on the frets, just a page or 2, just to give it an added extra. So just try and find out how you can put your twist on it. So If you feel as though you are getting value from this video, please do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button. If you've got any questions, you want any further tips, then please do leave a comment below. So number 3 is a great one. However, it does take a little bit of work. Now, I am a mum of 3 children. For each of my children, I received a gift which I used for all of them, a bump to birthday book. Now what that has is it has your pregnancy journey. You record how you are, what you're feeling, those sorts of things throughout your pregnancy. And then when the baby's born, it goes through and it does week 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it usually goes to monthly. And then you have a page for your list of firsts. So honestly, so much that you can do with that kind of a book. And what I would say with something like a bump to birthday book, and in fact possibly on the next few books I'm going to be talking about, is I would possibly go hardcover, because I do think it's more of a giftable item. You can up the cost of that product. I mean, you could absolutely, it costs you nothing to upload it onto Amazon KDP anyway. So you could give people 2 options, and you could do a more value option where it's paperback. But I do think it's kind of a keepsake gift. So you could do that. There's also some other incredible books that I have seen out on Amazon KDP. And they are called Tell Me About Yourself. And it is something that you would perhaps give to your mum, your grandma, your granddad, and that each page is kind of guided, and it would have on there, tell me about your mum, tell me about your dad, tell me about your school, tell me about your friends, tell me about your family, tell me about your first holiday, tell me about the toys that you like to play with, tell me about your first job, and all those sorts of things, which are really lovely, again, keepsake gift. So another amazing niche that we can focus in on. And this one here, it's, you know, these are all year round sellers. However, I think you could see a boom around Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas. They're great gifts. So birthday gifts for your mums, grandmas, aunties, uncles, sisters I've seen. So there are so many different ways that you can repurpose that one interior. And that's really the key for starting to get multiple books uploaded. I have watched so many videos on YouTube and they're saying, you know, oh yeah, I've got over 2,000 books now uploaded onto Amazon KDP. And that's great. That's incredible. But the way that they're doing it is by repurposing the interiors. So start to think about how you can do that. So that's number 3 done. Number 4. Now this one is great, and I think a great time for you to get this out is about now. However, again, it can be an all year round seller, and this is kind of your sort of celebration books. So you've got kind of different flip sides for this. So I'm thinking kind of guest books for your weddings, christenings, baptisms, all those different celebrations. But then you can also create it into a little bit of a series. So you can get them the guest book, but you could also get a matching planner for it. So within the planner, you might put in there suppliers, invitation list, gift list, letters to send out, key dates, when you've got to pay this, when you've got to pay that, budget tracker, so that it can all start to build up. And if you tie those 2 products in together, you might start seeing that you're getting more than one sale. So I think now is a really good time to start this. And the reason for it is Christmas is huge for engagements. So I think the wedding planners and wedding guest books could be a great seller now. And particular into the new year. And then February 14th, you've obviously got Valentine's Day. So again, another huge date. You've also then got coming into sort of the spring, summertime. That is your wedding season. Got your christenings, dedications, baptisms. They will all start to happen again, spring, summertime. So really a great time to start getting on with those. And I will absolutely do tutorials on these, as I've already said. I am personally going to start creating these niches. So my final, and I believe my biggest money maker for next year, is going to be manifestation journals. Now in here, this is a far more simpler approach than the bumped birthdays and the wedding planner books. However, this one here is something that you can create a couple of pages and it can just follow through. I would make it up kind of a bit like a diary, so it's more journal-like, but I will not put in the dates. And the reason for that is because someone might not want to write in it every day and you don't want to have wasted paper. So what I would do is create your sort of manifestation cover. The interiors will be the same. I will create several covers so I can upload it several times. And at the moment, there is a huge surge in manifestation and believing that if we think about it, we can create our own destiny. Now, whether you believe that or not, that is something that a market that is huge right now and people are really, really interested in. People are really starting to take manifestation really, really seriously. So you could then team that up with your gratitude journals, prayer journals, which there's more of them out there. So just start to think about that. And honestly, I think next year is going to be huge for KDP. Now, as I said, I am going to be doing more videos about KDP. I'm going to do a full tutorial on BookBolt, how to use its SEO tools. So make sure that you do not forget to turn on your notifications so that you do not miss a beat. And thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you all next time. Thank you so much. Bye.